carve out time over this holiday season to think about next year. Be thankful for what's happened this year, what you've learned this year, and to dream about next year and the next few years. That has always served me well, and I've always been intentional about doing that. We've had this revenue share opportunity with my friend Susan. We've been doing all the production for her courses and for her community and membership for the last, I think it's been like 7 or 8 years. It's just been a beautiful partnership. And the crazy thing is, when I pitched this idea to her to do a 50-50 rev share, I thought that was crazy. And I'm like, no way is she going to want to do this. And she said yes. And it has been amazing for her. It's been amazing for us. That's definitely one of the most profitable things that we do in this business, and I'm grateful for that. What I'm learning is that there's traditional video production, right? Shooting, editing, pre-production, dreaming about the story, being creative, all of that stuff. But then there's like, what are the creative things that we can do in the relationships that we have? And that's where I've had a couple of glimmers of brilliance in the last 20 years. Okay. Wow. This is my end of the year episode. This is the Christmas episode. This is the best hits of 2025. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you get to reflect with me. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the Grow Your Video Business Show. I'm the host of the show. My name is Ryan Coral. If you're brand new, welcome to my reflection episode. This one is going to be really self-centered, but I want to share the things that I learned in 2025. I want to share some of the things I'm excited about for next year. And I want to take some time to be grateful, and I'll start by just saying I'm grateful for you. If it was not for you listening to the show, I probably wouldn't do this show just to hear. I actually don't listen to the show, so there's that. But I probably wouldn't spend the time and energy to do this thing if it wasn't for the people that listen to the show. And you might think like, well, duh, but I want to say thank you. Doing this show has helped me, period. I have interviewed some incredibly gifted, talented, super special people, and I'm pretty certain every single episode I learn something. It's been so good for my soul. It's been good for my business. It's been good for me just personally and relationally to be able to bring friends on and catch up and share them with you, to be able to bring people who I look up to and am incredibly inspired by, and to share them with you. This really is a gift. So just know that I appreciate you listening to the show and allowing me an opportunity to be able to learn and to share what I'm learning, and for you to say, Ryan, thank you so much for the show. The Spotify Unwrapped thing just happened last week or the week before or something, and it was such a joy and kind of a surprise to see more than one person share that I was like their number one podcast listened to, alongside of really big name shows and stuff. I was like, "Ooh, this is cool." Sharing the stage with people who I admire greatly. So, thank you. Seriously, if you know me in person, you probably have an idea of how special this is that I get to do this. And if you know me from afar, just know that I am very genuine in the fact that I get to do this. Rewind. In 1996, it was my freshman year at Oakland University, and I was walking through this long hallway. I don't remember if I was headed to lunch or where I was going. It was right at the beginning of school. I don't even know if school is in session yet. And it reminds me of in Monsters University when Mike Wazowski is walking down in I forget the other guy, but they're walking down and there's all the social clubs and they're trying to, get people's attention, get people to sign up to their social club or their thing or whatever. And I remember seeing a table that there was a banner and it said WXOU 88.3, come join the radio station or the campus radio station or something like that. And I was like, wait, there's a radio station here? And I was talking to the person and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, could I be a DJ? And they're like, well, I mean, yeah, you could like come and try out and, there's definitely jobs and stuff, but yeah, like it's possible that you could have a show. And I was like, amazing. So I signed up and I think I had an appointment to go and record some like voiceover tracks for commercials, which was kind of like an audition, and it was super fun. I went with my best friend Chad at the time, and so we both recorded some stuff and then gave it to him. And they're like, "Dude, this is great. What's the name of your show?" And we were like, "Oh, we got a show." And they're like, "Yeah. Like, do you have a preferred time slot?" And we're like, "I don't know, Friday mornings." And so anyway, our show was, I think it might have just been Ryan and Chad in the morning. Or the morning show or something like that. I don't know. But our time slot, I think it was 7:30. So, early enough that nobody listens. And anyway, that was the first time where I had headphones, a microphone, and I spoke. I don't know if anybody listened to the show except for my physics teacher from high school, who I'd become friends with. We made t-shirts. I kind of helped him with his entrepreneurial journey as he was a teacher and a mentor of mine. So Carson and his class would listen. They would call in because there was like a phone and we could take calls, and nobody really took advantage of that. We figured out how to like get people on the air. I don't know why, but that was really fun. And then one day I brought my guitar to the show and I played a song on air. This is just it's a little embarrassing, but also like the first moment that I felt a tinge of fame. I played this, I had this like newfound faith. I was going to church. The youth group asked me to play guitar because they found out I was in a band in high school, a rock band in high school. And so I'm like playing these like church songs, for this youth group. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring my guitar and I'm going to play a couple of songs on air. And I played this one song, and later that evening, I went to a comedy show 30 minutes away from the college campus. And I was with, I don't remember who I was with, but we sat at this big table with a bunch of people we didn't know. And we were getting ready to watch this comedy show. And this guy who's probably my age now, he's probably like in his mid 40s. He's like, hey, so, what's your name? I tell him we're talking small talk. And he's like, so are you a student? I'm like, yeah, I go to Oakland University. He's like, oh, that's great. He's like, what do you do there? I'm like, oh, I actually have a radio show. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, I listened to that 88.3. And I'm like, oh, you do? He's like, yeah. He's like, wait, when is your show? I'm like, Friday mornings. He's like, did you bring your guitar this morning on the show? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I heard your show. And I was like, what the heck? So the two people that listened to my show, that was a fun moment. Anyway, the seed was planted way back when I was an 18-year-old punk. And I realized like, this is pretty cool. Like I liked having a show. And when Matt Davis and I were dreaming back in 2015 of like, what could we do? How could we coach more people that are running video production businesses? How could we get in that space? Could we monetize it? Could we actually make money doing this? And very, very early on, we launched our first digital course, and then we were like, we got to promote this stuff. And so we were running Facebook ads, but almost immediately after, there were a couple of shows that I was listening to. Pat Flynn, who I just had on the show like a few weeks ago, I heard his show, and he was bringing on all of these entrepreneurs that were starting online businesses. And I just remember listening to his show and being like, he sounds amazing. This show, the format of the show is really cool. How amazing would it be to have a show like that where like, you've got a cool microphone and you're bringing guests in, you're talking to them. And in our production work, that's what I was interviewing people, and I was pretty good at it. And I was just like, Matt, I think if we started a podcast, like this could be a great format for us to get our name out there and have some kind of ongoing promotion and marketing to get people knowing about our education and stuff in the space for filmmakers. And he was like, dude, that sounds great. And so we started this show. Hey, quick time out. If you're listening to this show because you want to grow your video business, but you feel like you're spinning your wheels doing everything yourself, and you're wondering why it's not getting easier, listen up. I've been there multiple times throughout running this business. The bottleneck, feeling burnt out, the late night, what's next, panic, what did I forget? That's exactly why I started the Studio Sherpas Mastermind a few years ago. This is a small group of just 12 video business owners who are done figuring it out alone. Some members have doubled and even tripled their revenue. Others have hit over $1 million for the first time in business. In this group, we talk strategy, profit, we go over systems and hiring and mindset, all of the things that actually move the needle. So if you're serious about scaling your studio without losing your sanity, apply now at studiosherpas.com/mastermind. Don't keep doing this thing solo. The climb is a lot easier with Sherpas by your side. Again, it's studiosherpas.com/mastermind. All right, let's jump back into the show. And next year, 2026, will be the 10th year, the 10th anniversary of the show. So 10 years times 52 episodes a week, 528. We'll hit 500 episodes soon. I think we're at like 470 or something like that, which is mind-boggling, right? Starting something like this, it's sort of like, this will be fun. And I remember titling the episodes 001, the very first episode we did, when you had to submit it to whatever podcast platform we were using. And I remember Pat Flynn's show, he had, 001, 00, I was listening to episode 121. And I was like, let's do 001 instead of episode 1 or episode 01. I had a dream. I was like, maybe we can do this. Even doing it, though, I was like, certainly. 100 episodes for real. So it is mind-blowing to think that I've been doing this and staying consistent for a decade. But I love it. There was definitely one season where it felt like work and it felt like people weren't listening. Felt like it was very one-sided, and I was like, why am I doing this? And then I was also frustrated with not having launched a YouTube channel that was focused primarily on education, 5 to 10 minute long videos versus 45-minute long podcast episodes. And that was that was a low spot for this show, because I was just like, it's just not resonating. The audience isn't growing. Why am I doing this? And I'm so glad and grateful that I came out of that, because man, since then, I've continued to just have incredibly inspiring conversations, and then just the gratitude that you and other listeners have shared with me. So, wow, I'm a lucky guy. So anyway, if it's your first time here again, you're just like, okay, is there more to this show? Yes, there's a lot. If you're trying to grow your business, you're in production, there's lots of good content here, lots of great conversations around things to do, things not to do, lessons learned. I'm 21 years into this business, and I think I've made a lot more mistakes than I have had successes. I think it's pretty close nonetheless. And I learned also very early on how important it is to surround yourself with people who have gone before you. And like it or not, I'm that guy now. I've gone before you for the last 20 years. It's pretty wild. I just celebrated my birthday this week, actually. Closer to 50 than I think I ever thought I'd get. Pretty wild. So couple of highlights. There is Andrew and I have been married. We're going to celebrate our 23rd anniversary in January, and she's my best friend. She's my biggest fan. And although not biggest fan of the show, she's never listened to, I don't think, to one episode. Maybe I forced her to listen to like one interview. I can't remember with who, but maybe there was that one. But I'm just so grateful to have her in my corner and cheering me on, sometimes from afar, as in like, not listening to the podcast, but yeah, keep it going. People love it. I played for her. We did a burning ear session in our mastermind as for the last call this year. And essentially it's like every person takes a turn where they shut their camera off and their mic off. And then everybody in the group gets to talk about that person as if they're not in the room, even though they are in the room. But doing that, it's a beautiful, beautiful moment for the person who's being spoken about. And the group wanted me to go last. And so I did. And I played that recording. It's like 5 or 6 minute little clip. I played that for Andrea. I played it for these other two couples that we're extremely close with. And I just said, you guys, people do like me. And some people actually think I'm smart, which is crazy. And all of these people pay me money every month to be in the mastermind. And what a gift to have that group and to have those amazing words spoken to me. But that was just fun to be able to share with her and to share with my closest friends, to give them a glimpse of what I get to do. I mean, I talk about you all the time and I talk about this work, but I think it's hard for them to really understand, what the work looks like or the result of the work. And having people say things like, I changed their life, I changed their business. Now, I did not, right? But maybe something I said or an encouragement I had or something like that inspired them to do something, to take action. But I do know that I was in that, I'm in this spot doing the things. So yeah, I'm glad that I have taken action, and I'm glad that other people have been inspired by something I've said or done, or the life that I've led to take positive action. Now the poor decisions I've made, and if people have followed in my footsteps from those things, I'm sorry. I apologize. What are you doing? Make better choices. So yes, this year we had some big milestones. Our oldest child graduated high school, started college. That's wild. I was sharing earlier that we started paying college. Like, we've got a college bill every month we're paying. I'm glad that I have in-laws who have put a lot of money into the college savings fund, and we've been putting money in over the last almost 18 years, I guess. And, but still wasn't enough. We still got to fork over cash. But man, talk about being a proud dad, and also how fast that happens. One of my favorite things this year, I got to coach my daughter's field hockey team. She plays varsity field hockey, and she was totally cool with me helping out as an assistant coach. And my birthday was earlier this week. Everybody wrote me a card, and I can't talk about what she wrote about me in my card for too long. Otherwise, I will start weeping, because it was just the most beautiful, kind, thoughtful, intentional things that she's ever said about her dad. And so to have a sophomore in high school who loves me, oh my gosh, I got to stop. It's going to happen. I remember being in high school, and I was voted on some like Winterfest. It's like homecoming, but it was like in the winter. So whatever that was called, Winterfest. I think that was maybe all it was called. So I was on court, and that you write a little bio about yourself, and somebody reads it in front of everybody. And I remember saying something like, I can't remember if I said I wanted to have 6 kids or a ton of kids. But that's what I always wanted. I wanted kids. And then, my dad passed when I was 25, and there was a lot of a lot of things that I wish I had done differently as a son, and things that, I wish he had done differently as a dad, and both my parents. And it was kind of like my vow and my promise to myself that I was going to be the best version of myself, and that the things that I didn't like or couldn't stand growing up, that I was going to be the solution. That I was going to just figure out how to do it differently. And certainly, there's been a lot of like discovery of like, oh wow, okay, so I guess my parents weren't totally crazy, and but in some regard, yeah, they were pretty crazy. They were great, and I'm grateful for what I learned from them, and can say now that even in the things that drove me crazy, and that maybe weren't even healthy, have helped me just appreciate where I'm at today, and to know how much I've learned because of them, and to hear my daughter say the things she did. I mean, if that's probably the highlight of my year, is just say like, wow, okay, I am doing something right in that regard. Really, really powerful, really, really meaningful. This is financially for the studio. This has been our best year since COVID. Since COVID, it has been a roller coaster. I'm sure for a lot of you, it's been very similar. I know I have conversations with you, and I'm grateful that that we've just had clients who have come back. I'm grateful that we've found new clients. There have been some relationships that have been cooking for a long time, and nothing really has come about until like a decade later. And, to be able to book multiple six-figure jobs because a fractional marketing person loved what we did on a small project more than a decade ago. It's like, wow, pretty cool. So I'm really thankful. And I think at the beginning of this year, you've heard me say multiple times, I was ready to just like walk away from the business, let it burn down, because I've been pushing so hard to make this thing work since COVID, and it's been frustrating, and I've lost a lot of heart. But to see revenue come in, and it's like, oh, okay, this thing can work, and it's not as frustrating as it has been. So I'm really grateful for that. Also grateful we just had our mastermind retreat in Austin. This was a few weeks ago now. It was at the beginning of November. And it was beautiful. Just again, beautiful to be in the presence of people that I've been able to inspire and be encouraged by, to be together in person. What a gift. Definitely a highlight of my year. So many things. So I have a lot of gratitude in my heart. I have the best friends in the world, the best family. Okay, I'm just like, yes, very, very thankful. So for next year, 2026, it's coming, right? It's going to be here before we know it, and then we're going to be halfway through the year before we know it. My hope for you and for myself is to carve out time over this holiday season to think about next year. Be thankful for what's happened this year, what you've learned this year, and to dream about next year and the next few years. That has always served me well, and I've always been intentional about doing that. Some things that I'm looking forward to. I'm you guys. I have been hesitant to share this because I don't know if it's the perfectionism in me that I've been overcoming for a long time, or I just heard other people say things that haven't come to fruition, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I want my word to I want to actually mean what I say and say what I mean. Like, I'm working on a book right now, and it's going to release next year. It's happening. And normally I wouldn't talk about it until it was like ready to be published, until we're like ready to send it to the publisher or wherever books get made or whatever. But I'm understanding that it's okay if I was to say something like that and it didn't happen. It's just so important to me, like being a person of integrity I think for a long time, really probably since I started college, I started seeing and understanding like what that means and how important it is. And it's become so important to me, probably to a fault where I won't talk about things like that. Uh, because I'm like, well, if I don't do the thing, I don't want people to come back and be like, you said that, this was going to happen or you're going to do this. And certainly there are probably things in my life that I have done that with and just haven't been paying that close attention to. But I know something that could sound in my mind braggadocious of me, like, "Oh, I'm writing a book and just working on this project. It's going to be great." Like that to me just feels like I'm just saying it because I want to sound cool, or like, what is my intention behind that? I don't know if this is relatable to you at all, but having a podcast is very therapeutic because I can process out loud and you just have to sit there and listen until you get tired of listening. So I think that's been part of my hesitation, but I'm very excited about it. And it's really it. Somebody asked me the other day because I've started sharing this a little bit. They're like, "Is it going to be a memoir?" And they're half joking, and I was like, "No, it's about the power of your story and the importance of it as a business owner, and how you should be telling your story and using that as your differentiator." And and that's what it's going to be. And I'm excited about it. It's, I think one day I will write a memoir because I've got just fun stories and lots of reflections that I love sharing. Right. Case in point, this is a great platform for me to be able to do that. So I'm working on a book. I'm actually working on two. Like I'm working on a kid's book too. That one's kind of written. I'm just working with the artist right now on the artwork, and it's going to be beautiful. I mean, it is really that's a fun little project. But the real book, like I think this one will help me get business, and it'll help my mastermind grow, and some other things. So I'm excited about both of them. Also, I've realized that we've had this revenue share opportunity with my friend Susan. We've been doing all the production for her courses and for her community and membership for the last, I think it's been like 8 years, 7 or 8 years. She's done over $2 million in sales. She's grown her email list from 0 to over 50,000. Her Instagram, I think when we started working with her, was around 100,000 people, and it's now over 300,000. She's written a couple of books in the meantime. It's just been a beautiful partnership. And I asked her earlier this year, I said, "Hey, is this still working out for you?" And she just said, in few words or less, like, "Yes, I'm so thankful that we did this forever ago." And the crazy thing is, when I pitched this idea to her to do a 50-50 rev share, I thought that was crazy. And I'm like, no way is she going to want to do this. And she said yes. And it has been amazing for her. It's been amazing for us. That's definitely one of the most profitable things that we do in this business. And I'm grateful for that. And the future, as I see it, I know Mike Kim, who leads the mastermind that I'm a part of, he talked a lot about collaboration the year before last. And I took that to heart and I said, I want to collaborate more. And so as we're sitting here, I'm working with a YouTube creator who has been very, very successful in just the short amount of time that he's been making videos. And I pitched to him a collaboration and a revenue share model, and he's all about it. Literally, as we're sitting here, there was a moment probably about 10 minutes ago that I looked up. There was a text message notification that one of the agencies that he does his brand deals through had responded to an email that we pitched this new opportunity, and he said, this agency is in, like, let's go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I think what I'm learning is that there's traditional video production, right? Shooting, editing, pre-production, dreaming about the story, being creative, all of that stuff. But then there's like, what are the creative things that we can do in the relationships that we have? And that's where I've had a couple of glimmers of brilliance in the last 20 years. This pitch to Susan, I think, was one of them. This pitch to this YouTube friend of mine, that was another one. But there have been in the back of my mind, I'm like, ooh, there's a couple of other partnerships that I could pursue. I'm gonna hold off right now and try and just like focus on what's right in front of me. And then 2026, I think there may be one or two other partnerships. And as we continue to achieve success, it's going to be easier and easier for people to say like, yeah, this works. So I'm excited about collaboration. And speaking of collaboration, I'm launching an app next year that is going to benefit you. You are going to love this thing. It is, it's in the works and it's kind of almost done. And I'm collaborating with a former Studio Sherpa's Mastermind member, Andrew. Super excited about what we're building, and I'm excited to share that with you soon. So stay tuned. Oh, and this is interesting. I think the most fulfilling part of the work that I've done over the last 20 years, there are a couple of film projects that we've been a part of that have been beautiful and powerful and just amazing. Those are some of my favorites. But then I look at the relationships that I've formed over these years, and it's hard for me to say that anything can beat the Mastermind. When we started Studio Sherpas, like that was really cool. And I remember hosting my first in-person event for filmmakers, and they came to my studio and they started becoming friends. They didn't know each other before I made the introduction, before I had this platform, and to see these people becoming friends, that was beautiful and amazing and has been. And for me to continue to see that. And I just made an introduction this morning from a guy who's in one of my courses. I introduced him to Hefe, who was in the Mastermind this year, and they're both in Austin. I was like, you guys need to know each other. So doing that brings so much life and fulfillment to me, but leading the Mastermind and facilitating the Mastermind, like, I'm with these people all year, and it's a small group of people, and we get to know each other, and we're on a text thread together, and we're celebrating with each other, and we're hurting and crying with each other, and then retreating together, dreaming about the future together. That has been, I think, the favoriteest thing that I get to do, because of a lot of reasons, because of the relational capital, but then people pay me money. Don't tell anybody this, but people pay me money to be in this Mastermind. I'm like, what the heck? It is mind blowing. It is literally mind. So I want to do more of this work, coaching, mentoring, facilitating, conversation and relationship. Like, that comes so easy to me. And I guess I forget, I continue to have people tell me like, dude, that's not normal. That's not everybody. No, not everybody can do this. I'm like, but it's so easy. They're like, yeah. Well, you're a special breed. I'm like, okay, whatever that means. But, I'm going to launch a Mastermind that is not specific for filmmakers, which makes me scared a little bit, because it's really easy in the world of, I've got this podcast and this platform, and I've been building it for 10 years. So I built a lot of trust and a lot of equity in this realm of people like you that listen to the show. So it's really easy for me to say like, hey, if you want to be part of my, closer community, join the Mastermind and pay me this money. Now I'm stepping into a realm of like, hey, if you're an entrepreneur, you don't need to be creative. You don't even need to be a filmmaker. If you're an entrepreneur, you're running a business, and you want to be in my tight-knit circle, then join this other Mastermind. I'm going to do it, you guys. And I already have people who have said they want to be in the group, and I'm like, are you guys sure? So I still struggle with belief and mindset stuff, but man, I've come so far. And again, I surround myself with people that continue to speak life into me and encourage me and build me up and help me really understand that I do have what it takes. And you know what? I'll take swings and I'll miss, and it's okay. I took so many swings this year, tried launching a couple different courses, plenty of offers. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a banger, and 2 views, 0 purchases. It happened so many times this year, but I'm just like, okay, I gotta try something else. And I keep going back to, at least in the world of Studio Sherpas, I'm like, I just need to grow my audience here, because everybody who's been on my list for 9 years, they get it. Hey, the last chance to get this course, it's going on sale, it's doing this thing, and So it's like, I'm not a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. Well, I guess maybe I am for some. But I need fresh blood that I can help. Other people that can help. So if you've been a faithful listener for 9, almost 10 years, thank you. Have you left a review for the show recently? If not, maybe it's time to do that. Yeah. And you know what? The production business is going to look a lot different next year for me as I'm, I think, I don't know how much I want to unpack that, but, mostly because I'm still thinking through. I was in New Jersey last week with Mike Kim and his mastermind that I'm in, that I pay to be a member of. And man, I had such great conversations. I had such a good hot seat, very, very helpful, and pretty wild to just think and start dreaming. What could 2026 look like if I do more of what makes me come alive and more of what's just like a natural extension of who I am. And so I think I'm going to take a couple more swings next year, and I'm excited to share those early next year. It's a little too soon right now to jump into, but I will share for sure. And so anyway, I am grateful. I'm grateful for another year. Thankful that you made it this far in this episode. I got a lot of things cooking. If you're not on my email newsletter, I want to invite you to check it out. I recap these episodes, and we've formatted them to be like, hey, if you're looking for challenge and you're looking for some work to do to improve your business, like those are the emails to get. And so you can sign up to the newsletter at studiosherpas.com/newsletter. That's there. And then I got other stuff coming out. I've got, I don't know if I've announced it yet. By the time you hear this, I think you may have heard it. A brand new budget maximizer spreadsheet, brand new budget maximizer template, training. I'm really, really excited to get this in people's hands who haven't ever used the spreadsheets and who don't know how to ensure profitability in projects. So that's coming out. If you're not on the newsletter, you're not going to hear, well, you might hear about it, but get on the newsletter and you'll be the first to know and the first to start using it. I mean, some of the workshops and trainings and master classes and stuff I offer are so inexpensive, and it's like a no-brainer just to try something. And most of the stuff I offer, if it's not live, I include a money-back guarantee to just say, it doesn't work for you, just let me know. We'll refund you. I don't care. We can still be friends. It doesn't have to be awkward. If it's going to be awkward, that's on you, not on me, okay? So anyway, yeah, check out the newsletter if you're not signed up, and let's stay in touch. I would love to hear from you. If you have highlights from this year that you want to share, I would love to read those. My email list is not too big to where I can't read through your wins and just say thanks for sharing those. So please do that. And if there's anything I can do to help you, to support you along the journey, then reach out. Don't be a stranger. If you want more details on the mastermind, you can just go to studiosherpas.com/mastermind. All that stuff is there. And I think that's all I have. So Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmahana Kwanzaa. Is that how you say that? Or whatever you do. I hope that this new season brings you lots of joy and peace and beautiful relationships and incredible opportunities. So it's my hope for you, and it's going to be great. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Grow Your Video Business podcast. If you got something out of today's conversation, do me a favor, share it with a friend or post it on your socials. Tag me at Ryan Coral or at Grow Your Video Business. I'd love to know what resonated with you. If you've got a question or takeaway, drop a comment wherever you're listening or watching this. You can also shoot me a message. I read every single one. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. We've got more stories, strategies, and behind the scenes insights coming your way to help you build a business that you love. Keep creating, keep sharing your story, and keep showing up. I'm cheering you on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.